Nice Micro Monday. Does the new development in tech make our life worse? So previously I made a video in which I criticized the technological advancements in the recent decade, and I said that there are no real new innovations in the consumer field, and you can watch that video if you want to see my whole argument. But basically, the thing is that as a consumer, I don't think that my life was made much better via technology than it was maybe 15 or 20 years ago. And in some aspects, we didn't just stagnate, but things even got much worse. And I have a recent personal experience from a restaurant with that, which was that this was an all-you-can-eat buffet. So basically you get a table and then you go get a plate and put your food you want to eat on your plate, take it back to your table and then eat it, and then you take as many turns as you want. And previously in these restaurants, they had staff who would go around and pick up the used plates and take them to wash them. But this restaurant implemented a robot. So you could call the robot by pressing a button on your table, and then this robot on wheels would arrive to you, and it had like 2 shelves, and you would put your plates on these shelves, and then the robot was supposed to just take turns and basically replace those waiters by collecting the plates. But of course, this is actually worse than if you had waiters, because now you, the customer, going for your own food and picking your food and going around for that purpose, that is something you accept when you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet restaurant, that you don't get served the food to your table, but now you have the additional work of putting your plate on this robot. The waiters won't just to walk around and pick up your plates. You have to actively call the robot, and even, if the robot worked perfectly, this would be a small but still a downgrade of your dining experience. But this robot did not work properly. The space for this robot to move around is very small. And of course, while a waiter can lift their arms up and let other people go, the robot has a very rigid structure. It cannot change its shape. So it would constantly bump into the customers, or even, if the customers are kind of careful not to bump into the robot, then the robot gets stuck between the tables as people are moving around. It never gets to the tables that are at the far end of the restaurant. So in the end, the restaurant also has to have the waiters to go and basically help out the robot that was supposed to replace them. And I think this is a kind of reminiscence of a lot of consumer experiences that have been recently upgraded with technology. For my Luddite example for that would be the self-checkout at a supermarket. And if we take a look at the history of the supermarket, so originally when first shopping became a thing, the shopkeeper would have a shop. You would go to the shop, talk to the shopkeeper, tell them what you want, and the shopkeeper would go and look for the products that you want to buy, put it on the counter, and then pack for you, and then you take it home. It's like how pharmacies work nowadays. You go there, you don't find your own prescription, you give your prescription to the pharmacist and they give you the drugs. And similarly, in olden times, the shopkeeper would collect the produce and the goods for you, and you just have to give them the list you want. And the supermarket changed this experience by just letting the consumers to go into the store and pick their items for yourself. So instead of the shopkeeper working, you as the customer had to work. And I guess people put up with this because this meant that you had a much, much larger variety of goods. So now the store size was not that limited. They could build a very big store, put in a lot of shelves, put in a lot of different types of products. You don't have to explain to another human being what you exactly want. you can change your mind, you can compare the products, you don't just stand in a line and the people behind you won't start complaining if you take too much time to think what you actually want. So I guess people just accepted, and nowadays everyone just accepted that if you go to a store, you have to pick your items for yourself. You do some work in exchange for the higher variety. That was an upgrade, definitely, for most people. But then you still would take the goods to the counter, and there would be an employee over there who would either, back in the day would check the price tags. Nowadays they use the computer to scan that, and that is also an upgrade. So now it takes a much shorter time to do the checkout because they just scan the barcodes and the computer adds up all the numbers. Previously, when I was a child, there were, especially like smaller businesses, the cash register would be absolutely like manual. The person working there would just type in the numbers, the prices, directly into the cash register, which was more error prone than just using the barcodes. So that was an upgrade. But now many stores are experimenting with self-checkout, so-called self-checkout. So now, instead of having someone work there and scan your items, now you have to scan it for yourself. So there is not even the illusion that the machine will do your checkout instead of a human, like the robot doing supposedly doing the job of the waiter. They just put you in front of the computer terminal and make you scan your own products. And luckily there are some stores near where I live where they canceled this and they went back fully to the human operated checkouts, because basically the technological advancement there was that, okay, we can build these sophisticated machines with the weighing, and then it would, you could scan it very easily and then just pay by yourself with a credit card or something. But that kind of advanced technology actually made your shopping experience much, much worse, because if you just have a few products and then you have a very easy time going through, then you would also have a very easy time going to the counter with a human and doing your checkout. And if you have a lot of products, and especially if you are buying stuff that you're paying based on its weight, these machines usually don't work as smoothly as the people who sold these machines to the stores probably told them. So you always have to have at least one, or if you have a large enough number of these self-checkout counters, then you will have to have multiple employees there to just run around and try to help people out, and people will get frustrated when these things don't work as they expect. So I think this is kind of showing us how first the improvements in technology actually made the life of the consumer easier, and now we kind of reached a peak somewhere around 1999 and 2010, and now all the new technology is just making the consumer's life worse and worse. So I don't know if you agree, disagree, let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, press the like button and subscribe for more content. And I will see you next time. Bye.